Hey now, all you Halloween lovers out there, it is Black Metal Werewolf making another spooky video for you. And today we are going to be talking about Halloween specials, which is nothing new for this channel. I talk about Halloween specials pretty much every October. But today we're going to do something a little different. So, we all love Halloween specials. This is the one time of the year when all of our favorite TV shows can take a break from their regular storylines and have a little spooky fun to celebrate during the month of October. You guys know how much I love them, and I know how much so many of you guys do too. The problem is, not all of them are that great. Oftentimes, it feels like a lot of these writers and directors aren't putting their heart into their Halloween specials. It usually feels like they're just trying to fill an episode quota to fill out their season. And that's why we are going to be discussing what I think are the worst Halloween TV specials. To start things off, let's go with the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Halloween specials. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a television show I really want to like. A few years ago they put a whole bunch of seasons on Netflix and I was watching through it. And the best way I can describe that show is, it's a mediocre show with some highlights here and there. It's not terrible, but it certainly isn't the best show on TV. But as I was watching it, I noticed that every season had a Halloween special, and I was super excited. Like I said, it wasn't a terrible show, but I was looking forward to Halloween specials. Until I watched them. So the first Brooklyn Nine-Nine Halloween special was about the characters doing some sort of fun little heist in their precinct. Now, the first time I watched it, I thought it was kind of fun. I never really associated a heist with Halloween, but it was a fun little thing. They had cool Halloween decorations all over the place. It was, a fun little thing to do for that one episode. Then the next season, they did another Halloween special, where they did another heist episode, and then the next season, they did another Halloween special, which was also a heist idea. I have to say, what bothers me so much is that they literally are just repeating the exact same gag over and over and over again every single year. There is absolutely no thought put into these Halloween specials. At first I thought the heist idea was kind of cute and fun, but then by the third time they do it, I was like, what the hell does a heist have to do with Halloween? This makes absolutely no sense. And the biggest problem is, that show focuses around police officers in a precinct. There's a whole bunch of weird, scary shit that can happen in that situation on Halloween night. You could have a murderer running around the precinct. Hell, you could even do something supernatural like a ghost in there. There are so many options they could have gone with, and they chose to do the exact same thing over and over and over again. The next Halloween specials I have to mention are the Bob's Burgers Halloween specials. Now, Bob's Burgers is a television show I want to like. Everybody always talks about how funny and amazing this show is, but every time I sit down to try to watch it, I can't even make it through a full episode. First of all, Bob's Burgers is not funny. Like, at all. Of all the episodes I have seen, which is quite a few of them, I have never been able to find a single joke. Clearly, the director and the writers thought that just screaming at the audience for 20 some odd minutes somehow made up for there not being any jokes. And a lot of TV shows do that these days, to be fair. Second of all, this show is absolutely hideous to look at. It has to be one of the ugliest television shows that is currently airing to this day. And finally, this show has the worst voice acting I have ever heard in any show or video game or movie or any type of visual media ever. All of those things combined make a terrible television show. But when this show came on Disney+, I thought, okay, well now I can kind of pick and choose the episodes, and I know, I'll watch the Halloween specials. They do it pretty much every year. And unfortunately, my hopes were dashed. So the thing is that on the surface, a lot of their Halloween specials don't necessarily have bad storylines. They revolve around trick-or-treating, Halloween parties, haunted houses, pranksters, all the things that little kids love about Halloween, and things like adults like myself will feel nostalgic for. But it doesn't matter how much you love Halloween or how nostalgic you feel about it, when you have a bad television show that is hideous to look at and has people with god-awful voices screaming at you for 20 minutes, it makes these episodes near unwatchable. I don't know how that show has made it, I think the show's like running on its 15th season now. This show has been around for quite some time now, and I have no idea why. I wanted to like the Halloween specials, I wanted to like the show in general, but there are 3 gigantic pillars in the way stopping me from liking this show. And unfortunately, I can't even enjoy their Halloween specials either. Now for this next one, I am 100% going to get crucified in the comment section for this. I do not see what is so great about the Roseanne Halloween specials. So here's the thing. I have never been the world's biggest Roseanne fan. I remember when I was a little kid it being on television, but I don't have a lot of nostalgic feelings for it. But over the past few years online, people have been praising the shit out of the Roseanne Halloween specials. And you know what, I said to myself, I remember that show when I was a kid, maybe these Halloween specials are really good. And it turns out that they released all of the Halloween specials on one DVD. So I jumped on Amazon and I bought it, and I watched them, and they suck. Now, maybe I think these episodes suck because in my head over the past few years, people online have been hyping them up so much. I mean, people talk about these Halloween specials like they're the next coming of Jesus, but they just really aren't that good. After watching them, they're just regular episodes of Roseanne with kind of Halloween decorations in the background. They don't do anything special, there's nothing supernatural or spooky going on. They're just regular Roseanne episodes with Halloween decorations. And in my opinion, it should take a lot more than just some decorations in the background for you to consider yourself a Halloween special. Now, I should acknowledge that that sitcom really did help popularize the idea of a Halloween special, because before Roseanne started doing it, there wasn't a lot surrounding Halloween when it came to television. Granted, there were some things that did come before it, but it just wasn't popular. But once Roseanne did it and made it popular, every sitcom throughout the 90s started doing it. So I can acknowledge that they really helped get the ball rolling and create a lot of the Halloween specials that we love to this day, but just the ones from Roseanne itself, I really just don't get what's so special about them. They're just Roseanne episodes with Halloween decorations. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe it's nostalgia that I'm totally missing out on, but as of right now, I really don't get it. Now for the final batch of Halloween specials that I think are just not good, and it pains me to say this, but the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Halloween specials. Now some of you may be confused, because anyone who has watched my channel for long enough knows that I absolutely love The Simpsons, especially the Treehouse of Horror Halloween episodes. Hell, even a few years ago, I made an entire video talking about how much I love The Simpsons Halloween specials. But if you go back and watch that video, you will notice that my praise for that really only contains the first about 10 Treehouse of Horror episodes, because after that, it goes downhill, and it goes downhill pretty damn hard. So most Simpsons fans can agree that the show probably should have been cancelled years and years and years ago. There are some Simpsons purists who will not watch anything past season 8, which personally I think is a little close-minded. I think seasons 9, 10, 11, 12 all have some very solid episodes, though you can still start to see some cracks and the show is starting to decline. And as of recent years, the show is nearly unwatchable. And unfortunately, the Treehouse of Horror episodes go along with that. Now, I stopped watching The Simpsons around season 15. I thought their Christmas episode from that season was so horrendously bad, I just couldn't continue with the show anymore. But even after I stopped watching it, I still went back every October to check out their Halloween specials. But I still just couldn't like it. They were all so bad. But let's get to the root of the problem. When did these specials start really going downhill? Personally, I feel that the decline of the Halloween specials started with Treehouse of Horror number 12, with their segment Whiz Kids. For those of you who haven't seen it, it is a Simpsons parody of Harry Potter. And what that has to do with Halloween is beyond me. I still remember when I was a little kid watching this when it first aired, and it confused me then just as much as it confuses me now. Now, I understand at the time, Harry Potter was all the rage. But what the hell does Harry Potter have to do with Halloween? I said it a few videos ago, and I'm saying it again now. Harry Potter is a fantasy kids book, so what the hell does that have to do with Halloween? It makes no sense. And why The Simpsons decided to focus on that just blows my mind. I think what bothered me most about this segment was that previous to this, Pretty much every Halloween episode of The Simpsons segment was focused on a parody of a good horror movie, or a great episode of The Twilight Zone, or some cool urban legend. But then once WizKids hit, it just became pop culture nonsense. And as a Simpsons fan, especially the Halloween episodes, I don't watch these for pop culture bullshit. I don't care about that. So why they decided to make that, I don't understand. And it's not just WizKids. Ever since that date, pretty much every year since then has had at least one segment which was nothing but pop culture bullshit. You can just look at whatever was fun and trendy that year, and The Simpsons turned it into a Halloween segment. Regardless if it was spooky or scary or horror or sci-fi related, they just did it because. I remember they did a Avatar parody in one of them. Now some people might be saying, well, Avatar is sci-fi. Okay, you got me there, but it's not spooky, it's not scary, it's not Halloween related. You can put Kang and Kodos in an Avatar parody, it's still not a Halloween segment, and it makes no sense. So it's pretty obvious that the writers from The Simpsons, over the past several years, have just had a hyperfixation on pop culture bullshit in a way to try to bring in millennial and I guess Gen Z viewers to try to prop up their ratings. Unfortunately, by doing that, they're pushing away all of the fans of Halloween and horror and all the cool shit that we used to love about it. So with all that being said, I have to say that the current Simpsons Halloween specials are garbage, and in my opinion, are probably the worst Halloween specials on TV right now. So those are my opinions on all of the really bad Halloween specials from over the years. But of course, I want to get your guys' opinion on all of this. Do you agree with the judgments that I have made on these, or do you totally disagree? What do you think are the best and the worst Halloween TV specials? Please put all of your opinions down in the comment section. I would love to know. I'm sure all the other Halloween and horror fans would like to know too. It is now time for another horror movie suggestion, and this movie is Ghostwatch, and you can find it on Tubi for free. So Ghostwatch is a very interesting movie for several reasons. So the basic plot of the movie is that there is a news crew going to a supposedly haunted house on Halloween night to see if they can find any evidence about the supposed hauntings. But here's the kicker. This aired on Halloween night back in the 90s on BBC. But when it aired, it was not aired as a movie. It was advertised as a legitimate news broadcast. So back then, people all across the UK were watching what they thought was a real news broadcast, and they lost their freaking minds. Now, I don't want to get too much into the plot because it will spoil it, but there are a lot of twists and turns, and the ending is pretty dramatic. So I can only imagine all of these people thinking they were watching the news, just going out of their minds wondering what the hell is going on. And of course, after it aired, the BBC was totally flooded with phone calls. I believe they received over 1 million phone calls that night and the next day. People calling in wondering if it was real, people wanting to know if it was a prank. Some people saw that it was a fake and they were actually praising the BBC for what they did. Other people saw it as a prank and were super pissed off because it scared them and their kids. Either way, it is a very entertaining watch, and when you watch it, try to put yourself as in the mindset of someone in the 90s thinking this is a real news broadcast. I think it will really help your perception when you watch it. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video, checking out some of my past videos, and sharing them with a few of your friends while you're at it. If you would like to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I also have patches for sale, so if you would like to get your very own, you can click right over here. There's also a link down in the description. Overall, thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay spooky.